maybe it's not red wire after all. What in friggin' tarnation? Okay, well, totally back to the drawing board. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, boys and girls, we're back at South Park. Getting close to the finish line. And look what came in the mail today. This is a package from Nathan Purdom. I ordered some stuff from him before, only to realize that I needed more stuff. Here is that stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect condition. Nice. That's awesome. How did mine break in 3 pieces? And then, of course, I think I ordered this accidentally, but I guess it doesn't really hurt to have a backup plan. Wait a minute, what's going on here? This is, it's got the wrap still on it, but that looks like it's actually broken. Where does that go again? I think that goes back here. Oh yeah. So I bought this piece, A, unnecessarily, and B, didn't realize it was broken. So that was my dum-dum. Oh well. That basically is pretty much garbage, really, isn't it? How can this ever be used for anything? Oh well. That was just basically, I don't know, probably about $20 mistake with shipping and all that, and factored in. But that's my own silliness. This is what I need, though. Check it out. Let's see. You can see it's a little slightly different green, because they made different runs and different prints, and it looks actually pretty darn close, but I don't really care about that. I was just noting that. Okay, so that plastic can go on, which means I think this Ike can go on. Oh, and yes, I guess this is not Mr. Hanky after all. This is, I think, Starvin Marvin, the Ethiopian, from what I understand. A couple people informed me. I kind of thought it was like a Mr. Hanky personified, but that's not the case. This is what Mr. Hanky would look like, or what he does look like. I guess those inserts, I guess, are a little bit ghosted, eh? Can feel a little bit of ripplage there. Not too concerned about that, but yeah, so that means also I can finally put this all back together again, my flasher action, and the playfield will be completely reassembled. Then I've got other plans. Look what I got from Ray. This is my .93 Molex pin extraction tool. Ray has lent me this, spring-loaded. That's going to be for the connector in the cabinet that if you wiggle around will reset the game and do other random stuff. Like, actually, it probably wouldn't kill my display now because my display is running on 12 volts and not the high voltage. So it's possible that my display won't go out anymore due to that connector. But so that's what I'm planning on doing, is repinning that connector, at least the blue-white wires, which are the main important ones. Then here's my black gloss paint. I'm going to touch up this coin door. I'm going to probably clean up the dirt a little bit. I did place an order for the semicircle guys on here. I'm not using the vinyl ones. They just don't cover very well. And those semicircular ones look good. Also, I ordered 3 new coin. Ooh, I ordered quarter ones. I should get dollar ones. Maybe I should change that. I haven't placed the order yet. But I'm going to soon. I sent it with Kevin. Kevin's going to be doing an order. So maybe I will change it to dollars that say dollar push to reject. And then I can kind of take these apart, clean them up a bit. They're a little gummy. and then have 3 new coin inserts. So that is going to be happening as well. And then turns out Marco also has Mr. Henke spring. So I don't need to spend $20 on shipping just for 1 spring. I'll just, all that will come from Marco, and then I can combine, you know, a bunch of parts into 1 order so that it's better bang for my buck. So I am going to, I just saw Kevin texting. We're going to probably pop over there tomorrow, maybe with Jay the neighbor. He's off for the week, says he's up for some shenanigans. So Jay and I might go over to Kevin's tomorrow and take a look at the Badass family progress and see what's happening over there. So I better change my order to dollar instead of quarter stuff. And yeah, I don't have too much else on my to-do list. We're getting close to the finish line, boys and girls, so I'll keep you posted. There it is. Kick the baby. Ike is installed, and plastic. Oh, one thing, I got a question I just remembered when I was installing this is that the ball often gets caught on this one-way gate. Other South Park owners out there, what have you done to resolve that? Because I took these screws off and tried to adjust and see if there's any good way to, like, you know, resolve that. I'm typically, you know, you would think it would be pretty straightforward. It almost seems design flawish, but what? Why is it getting stuck there? Uh-oh, get back here. Right there. I've adjusted this. There's just no other adjustment for this other than to remove the wire part of the gate from the assembly, but doesn't that seem weird? Why is that happening? Anyway, that kept getting stuck on us, and we had to, like, it's not that bad right now the way it is. I kind of was able to adjust it a little bit, but anyway, there's got to be some better thing I can do to prevent that from happening that's not butchering the machine in any sort of way. Okay, so that means my table is empty. I'm done with the table. These are just my screws for my Mr. Henke mech for when I get my spring, and then I can fix that guy. So that's it. I'm putting that table away, finally. And then I'm going to move on to, oh, the other thing, I'm going to move on to repinning, but also I've realized, or kind of just forgot about my speaker and grill. I think the speaker works fine and dandy, but my grill underneath has been kind of mashed in. See that? Or maybe it's just in, I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to take out the speaker, investigate that. That's not metal. It's actually like vinyl. I thought it was metal. Anyway, I'm going to try and tidy that up or get a new grill or whatever I got to do, but I'll make sure the speaker is working too. I'm pretty sure it is, but it does have a bit of a tear in it, so it kind of concerned me. As long as it's working fine, then it's good, but that's another thing I just threw on my to-do list, so time to get at it. Okay, I studied it a little bit more, and I did figure that if I manipulated this arm a little bit so that the gate was resting a little bit more outward, I'm trying to do it all without breaking it, and I felt like I got close a couple times to snapping it, so I don't want to snap it, but essentially I have bent the gate so that it is further out this way a little bit, and look, just the tiniest little nudge, and we're good. So it'll probably be a lot harder for it to get stuck there now, and if it does get stuck there, just a little nudge and we're good to go. So that is resolved. Alright, just going into speaker test here. That is speaker test tone. If you go down here, it's definitely working. Okay, let's stop that because it's definitely annoying. But we can go run to different, no, wait. Different, better sounds. Let's
Okay, let's try to calm down, guys.
Let's go back down here and see.
You're going to the principal's office right now. Well, there you have it. Case closed.
Kick the baby.
Oh. So the speaker does work fine, even though it just looked a little sketchy there. And even a little bit there. So I'm going to still take off the speaker and just check out what it looks like from the other side. And the status of this grill, see if I can make it, I don't know, look a little better. It looks a little bashed in right now. So I'll be right back. Alright, let's see what this thing looks like. So it looks a little crusty of paper, right? The paper's a little, I don't know. That doesn't look too healthy. You know what? I know Kevin has upgraded speakers a few times. Maybe he has an old good used one that I can possibly, I wonder how many ohms that is, or what are the specifications. But look at this. So it looks like this might have been always in two pieces. Maybe not. But maybe if I reverse it and kind of flatten it out, at least I can reuse this. I think it's just a little deformed over the years, but I think I can reuse that. But I think I'm going to see if Kevin happens to have a speaker that might work. I will be right back. Alright, so I removed the speaker and straightened out the grills. They're better now, but look at this. It is really in worse shambles than I thought. So I did message Kevin to see if he had a used one. If not, I'll figure out how many ohms this is and what size it is, like what, 8-inch I guess, and should be able to just swap in and pop in a new one. But yeah, so that is underway. Now I guess it is time. This is going to be awkward dealing with this connector. The playfield is directly above it, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way that I can get in there without breaking my back. Can probably unloop it from that clip there and get a little bit of freedom, but it's only going to go so far away from the transformer. I don't think I want to remove the transformer and bring it forward, although that is only 4 screws, so that might not be that bad of an idea. Anyway, I'm going to get to this connector, see if that pin removal tool is the correct size and if it works. So that is the next mission. Alright, check it out. So what I did was undo this connector and pull it out of a couple little wire straps down there. So I got me some good length to work with. I can hang it over the side here. That's just the, what is this? The male side. Kind of see a little bit of warmth on those couple red wires there. Is that both red wires? Yep. So from what I understand, it's these two blue white wires that are the main wires that feed all kinds of voltages, or that main voltage that turns into all kinds of voltages. But check this out. Here's the pin removal tool. I'm going to cram this in like so. And boom, just like that, we have pin removal action. So I guess I'm just going to repin. I don't know if I should do them all or what. Maybe I should check the manual, see what are the most important ones. How many wires are there? 4, 5, 10, 13 or something like that. I don't know if it's necessary to do them all. Maybe I'll just start with the 2 blue ones on both the male and female side, and then see if I can cause the machine to reset by wiggling the connector. So I'm going to do that now. I think I have these pins, so I'll go hunting. Alright, I went hunting in my bin, and I found, check it out, 0.93 female and 0.93 male. So that is one I pulled out. That's, I guess, male out of that bag. All right, then I found this other miscellaneous bag that's just kind of like a connector kit. So that is this size, but it's not quite as long. So I don't know if that would be compatible or not. So I checked my other bag that I have, 0.62, and that's what this guy looks like. So I don't really know the difference between these two. This is pretty clear here that oh, that's also female, but actually those two look more close together. No, these guys wouldn't fit, I don't think. So anyway, I found what I need. I don't have enough to do the whole connector at the moment, unless somehow these actually work, because I've got quite a few of those. But I don't know, what's that say? 2-inch? I don't even know what that means. Maybe that's, oh, that's an old probably flipper rubber bag or something. Anyway, I guess I could maybe compare this connector, these holes, to this connector's holes and see if they're kind of the same size. Oh, look at that. I mean, this is a different connector, but I think it's the same. So if that fits into there, maybe those pins are compatible, even though they're a different length. Anyway, what I'll go by is this guy here. I'll cut him off and compare to what I got over there and try and get something that looks identical to that. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so I just finished repinning the male and female of the two wires. Here's the old males, and they matched up pretty much perfectly to the ones in this bag. But then the females that I pulled out of there, like this is one. What is that? Is that one? Oh, there's one for sure there. The females, they actually matched up better to the ones in this bag. So it's kind of weird how that worked, but this is one I think I busted up. Yeah. Oh no, that's the old one. This is a new one that I failed on. Because one of the problems with these new ones, it takes such a big possible gauge of wire that there's so much extra metal there to wrap around the wire that I had to snip off a little bit of each of those wings at the end. It's the first one that I smushed down, just kind of broke them off. So I trimmed off a little bit of each of these back wings and squeezed it onto the wire, and then used the ratchet to finish the job. So those are the old pins. This is a good pin. This is a bad pin. And it was a little awkward to get down for this guy here, but it's all done. I don't know if that's the issue, but it's gotta be in that connector. So the last thing to do is plug it in. Okay, it's in there good. Oh, don't forget the other ones. Is that how that one wants to go? Yep. Okay, come on, squeeze on there. Okay, I think that one's good. And then I'm going to turn on the machine and see if I can wheel this connector and get it to reset on me. Hopefully it doesn't. But if it does, then I will figure out what other ones I should repin. But okay, and then if it doesn't reset, then I can tuck these back into these clips and call it a day. So be right back with the test. Okay, here we are. You're on the tripod. I'm going to probably go on the other side of the machine. First of all, let's see if the machine still boots up. Alright, everything seems happy there. 2 balls missing. Really? Where are they? Oh, I guess I have... Do I have any balls out? I didn't think I did. Okay, anyway, let me go to the other side. You watch the display and listen closely. Let me know if you hear it reset. I'll be right back. Oh, hold on. All right. Here's the big test. Oh shit. I did it. What wire was that? Is it a blue one? Just wiggling all the different wires. Shit. Alright, obviously that didn't fix the problem. So I'm gonna have to investigate further. I mean, it's stable until you start cranking on that connector. But what if I just wiggle it gently? Let's see what happens. Not too bad. Oh shit. Alright, obviously something funky's going on with that. I don't know if something's shorting to something else or it's a repinning issue, but I'm gonna have to investigate further. Problem not resolved. Alright, so I made a post in Pinball Repair Help Group to see if anyone had any suggestions. Mark Valuk actually suggested, bro, you should just do every connector. Which is, you know, the kind of the answer I was hoping I wasn't going to hear. I thought someone would just say, that particular voltage is that particular wire, just do that one and then test it. But I haven't heard anything from anyone else yet. What does this say? Weber Playfields. Okay, anyway, so I don't know if you can see here, but see the two red wires where they come in? I'm sure I mentioned that they're a little bit yellow, right? So I thought I would just redo those two pins, not even on the female side. Reconnected it, didn't work. So since I've got this nice and accessible, I said screw it, and I have repinned all 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 pins. So it's actually fairly simple because, like I said, I got my little workbench here, perfect height. The only thing is this guy down here is a serious accessing challenge. I will break my back if I want to do that. Those wires are all thicker too. Oops, you can't see. So it's interesting. Those are all like a different gauge. So, and then they go into like this thinner gauge. Anyway, I'm going to connect it now and just see if that changes anything. If it doesn't, then I might have to face reality that I have to repin the entire female side. Well, that didn't work, so I tried to wiggle the wires at the transformer on this side just to see. These two wires come out here, alright? They go to the front side of the transformer. I wiggled here, I wiggled these guys, just trying to find maybe the specific point. And I thought, well, maybe it's at the board, and if I'm wiggling this, it's tugging on the board wire. But then I held this kind of into place here with one hand and wiggled the connector with the other hand to rule out anything on this side of the wire. Sure enough, I could get it to a point where I would just like could reset it doing that. So there's really only one thing left: redoing this entire female side and then going from there. If that doesn't do it, then maybe we have a little nick in a wire somewhere and it's shorting, but wouldn't that cause bigger problems? It does certainly seem like It's just not making perfect connection somewhere. So I guess on to the female side it is. So many pins, so much bending over into the cabinet. I think I've got 8 left to go. I take a break in between each one now to give my back a rest. Alright, this connector in the cabinet. Just had to take a little break, set up the camera, and show you how I do it and how fun it is. And I'm going to go to the other side, and I might not be as audible, but it should be okay. First, I need a drink. Okay, this is how I've been doing this. Alright, I'm on this connector here. Pin removal tool, which is actually really sweet with the spring-loaded action. Some are easier to remove than others, but for the most part, you just push until you hear it click, but that doesn't work sometimes, so sometimes I go like this. Come on, baby. Oh, it kind of semi-clicked there. Come on. It's like halfway out. All this while hunched with my shoulders squished together and leaning over. Oh, there we go. Didn't quite. No? You little. It's like this one's fighting me. Oh, there. I just heard a click. Oh, I just clicked back in. What happened? So, yeah, this is about typical. Sometimes they come out good. Sometimes you really got to fight it and try not to break Ray's connector. Remover. Wow, what is going on with this one? Maybe I should move on to the other one. Let's try the other one just to see if I can demonstrate a little better the nice little click when it actually works. Oh, see what I mean? I think it just happened. Boom, see that one? Some you gotta fight with a little harder than others. Okay, then I cut it off like so. All right. Then, hopefully you can see this okay. Cut off about 1/8 of insulation without cutting any wire. Okay. Then, grab a new pin. Now, these wings are just too big. I have to cut off some of these back wings here. Otherwise, they just wrap around too much. So, and then they break. So, I've been cutting off, not in the cabinet, but for demonstration purposes. Cut off a little bit of the wingage. Okay, squeeze it together a bit. Then to make life easier, I kind of prep the wire like so. Just give her a little temporary squeeze. So then I know my insulation is in there. Perfect. Then we're ready for the ratchet. Gotta feed that in just so perfectly. Okay. Got that perfect. Give a squeeze. Pop it out. Inspect my work. It looks beautiful. Pop her in like so. And then on this one, I didn't want to accidentally have to repin the same thing twice because I wasn't keeping track properly, so I mark it. Okay, then after that, what I do, hope you saw that okay, is take a bit of a breather for my back, stand up straight, maybe go grab one of these stickers that I got from Julie for Christmas. like so. Come on. Easier said than done, right? With one hand. Okay. And then find a cool spot for it. Oh, I know. This is kind of slim, so it should fit right there. You know what game that's from? There's a trivia for you. I'll give you 5 seconds. You probably got it. If you got it, you win. It is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Okay, so then give my back a bit of a breather and rinse and repeat. Total of 15 times for the bottom connector. Alright, that took me quite some time, but it is finished. And somehow I don't have a whole lot of hope that that resolved the problem. I'm not really sure why, but I was kind of hoping to find like some pretty shitty, at least one shitty connector in there, so that I could be like, oh, maybe you are the suspect, but every one that I pulled out of there looked okay, so here we go. I haven't had any other recommendations yet on the Pinball Repair Help group, so this is all I got right now is repin the whole connector and see what happens. Okay, let's listen for a little snap, crackle, and pop here. Hopefully there is not one, but I bet you there will be right now. Yep, see? What the F? Just a little twist right there, eh? There. If I just hold it right there. Is it? Yeah. Anyway, so repinning all that for an hour and a half did not seem to help. So, yay, so much fun. Alright, it's come down to this. I'm trying an experiment here. Strap that connector down just to see what would happen. And I've been wiggling on wires. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, and I wasn't able to reset it. But now I am. Oh, sorry, you can't see. What one was it? Was it the blue wire? I wiggled for 5 minutes and I wasn't able to get it to reset, but maybe I'm onto something now. Oh! That red wire. Okay, when I pull this red wire, boom. Think I finally found it. Here, let's try that again. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Well, I repinned those suckers. But I think we found our problem, boys and girls. It might be both red wires. Let's test the other one. Okay, let's give it a second here. Okay, anyway, I think I'm on to the red wires. It's got to be it. It makes sense, because they were the ones that were a little toasty. I would have thought repinning them would have solved that, but apparently not. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. Repin them? I don't know. Maybe there's a little tiny break in the wire, or the wire's a little toasty. I think we're on to something though. So finally, alright, progress. Alright, I figured it's about time we check out the schematics here. Remember once upon a time, the controlled lamps weren't working very well. They were kind of on and off. Well, those are in fact blue-white wires. I don't know if that issue is still there or not. Probably not, but those are repinned anyway. But if you look down a little bit further here, we see on our transformer power wiring diagram that logic, 5-volt logic, are these two red wires. Goes to bridge 21. And those are the only 2 red wires in the transformer there. So the CPU runs off of 5 volts logic, right? So I think we are chasing the correct tail this time. I'm not exactly sure if just my repinning was a bad job or the wire's a little toasty. I mean, for some reason they were a little hot. Now, why would that be? 5 volts logic should never have gotten hot, unless, I don't know, somehow somebody put in the wrong fuse and somebody crossed something one day and they got more voltage than they should have. But those should never be warmed up that hot to cause the connector to be yellowed. So something is fishy there, obviously, but I think that's where I'm gonna focus the rest of my efforts here. I'm gonna work on those red wires. I'll be back. All right, this is the next phase. So what I did was actually removed all the red wires, 2 on this side and 2 on this side, from the connector. Okay, and then I jumpered them together with 2 jumper wires. It's only 5 volts going through here, so those should be fine and dandy. Then I reconnected the connector. So if I wiggle the crap out of this and it still resets, then it's got to be something else. But I have a feeling that I'm going to wiggle the crap out of this and it ain't going to reset. These I've taped up so they don't short to each other. And that's what I'm doing right now. So bit of a pain in the ass test, but it should give me some good information. That's what I think. So I'm gonna probably need 2 hands for this, but I imagine you want to see if this little crazy project here will actually work. Experiment, I guess, is the word. Okay, let's turn this on. See if it actually boots up for one. Uh-oh, it's not booting up. It's not happy. Really? Okay, let me just make sure my alligator clips are good. Alright, so this time I just connected the wires together using the terminals instead of the jumper cables, or alligator clips. Jumper cables, oh my god. Okay, so I'll turn it on for a second just to see if it boots up now. Okay, it boots up now. So those alligator clips just did not do a very good job. Okay, let me tape up those wires so they don't short together, and then we'll wiggle that connector around and see what happens. Alright, hopefully this will be visible to you, but so the red wires are nice and happy right now. I'm going to turn the machine, go to the other side, wiggle the big connector around without trying not to wiggle the red wires too much. That might not be possible though, so this may fail, but yeah, I'll see what happens. Okay, I'll boot it up. Now, what if I wiggle this? What if I just hold these together and wiggle? Maybe they're like nicely connected now. What about this? Uh-oh. I thought I heard it was gonna do something. No? No? Okay. What do you know? We might be good, boys and girls. So what I think I might do is just put on a different, like, 2-pin housing on the male and female side and have the red wires connect separately. And that might actually work. So I'm going to add a connector and see what happens. Alright, connector added. This is going to be pretty much the last test. We'll see what happens. You see little black lines on the red wire. That's just, I added that so that I didn't mix up which one goes where. I don't know if it matters, but here we are. This is pretty much, I think, going to be the final test. I don't know how well that connector is holding the wires together, but at least the machine's booting, so that's good. And I kind of really like pushed on the wires on both sides to make sure that the red wires snugged into each other. Male got into female nice and snug. That was not meant to be, but it was. Oopsie. Anyway, get your mind out of the gutter, kids. Here we go. If I fudge with this connector, I probably could get it to reset. Maybe. It's not resetting. Okay, let's mess with this guy here. You know, if I mess with it hard enough, I'll probably screw something up. Come on, reset on me. Prove me wrong. Alright. Look at that, boys and girls. Just about 2 or 3 hours. And I think our problem is finally resolved. What a roller coaster ride that was. Okay, I think I'm really content with my solution to that. I'm going to put this wire all back. Oops. Vacuum the cabinet. Put the playfield down maybe, but I am checking that off of the list. Okay, I think I spoke too soon because I thought I would tidy everything up. And I was wiggling everything and I did get it to reset, but I wasn't sure if it was just me or I was pulling on the connector too hard, but let's see if I can do it again. What did I do there? Just move this. I was about to cut the zip tie and it reset on me. What was it? I'm starting to think there might be a little crack in the wire itself. Where are you? Why aren't you doing it now? Anyway, I know if I crank on it, it'll happen. But, problem is not actually resolved, sadly. Although I can't demonstrate that, which is kind of hilarious. What the heck? I just like tugged on it and it was resetting consistently. That's the problem with this thing. There it goes. It's off completely. See that? I'm starting to think that there's a break in the wire itself. So I guess I'm going to have to do some continuity testing. I'll leave it right in that very delicate space. Although actually I'm going to have to unconnect everything to test continuity, but alright, moving on to the next suspect. Okay, so I ran continuity test on these red wires. I slit the wire right here and then ran continuity from the tip to the slit. This is shrink tubing because I'm working on something else now. I could not find anything in my continuity test that indicated that there was a break in the wire, for sure. It's not 100% conclusive because that's not an easy test to run, really. So I did the same thing on this wire. There's where I slit it. I've since shrink tubed it. So what I was about to do is hardwire the bastards, because that is just the next course of action I think I need to take. Rule out the terminals completely. The only thing I'm kind of thinking is that this wire right here is pretty stiff, because we know to the discoloration on the connector that for whatever reason these wires got heated up. And so I think that I'm going to cut back a good few inches on each of these wires, because if there is suspect wiring inside the insulation, it would be right near the connector where they got hot. So maybe onto something again. We'll see. Alright, I guess we're going to try this yet again. So, red wires are now hardwired. And I cut off a couple inches on each. Maybe get rid of some bad stuff. We can at least isolate, you know, whether it's red or anything to do with that. Pretty sure we know it's red, right? It's gotta be. So, I guess there's nothing really more to do. Let's just turn the friggin' thing on, see if it boots up. Which it does not, so that's interesting. That's gotta tell you something. With hardwired... Oh, wait, hold on. We got our 18 volts. Somehow, we don't have our display. Now what's going on? We're going in the wrong direction, boys. Oh, shit. What happened there? What did I touch? I wish I knew what just happened there. I have to rewind. Huh. See that? It seems... Starting to wonder if it's even the red wire at all. Can't be good for the CPU, but holy shit. I'm gonna break something, but man, oh man. Maybe it's not red wire after all. What in friggin' tarnation? I wish I could just pinpoint it. Okay, well, totally back to the drawing board. Alright, I think I've struggled long enough tonight. I think I'm going to take a break. You know, even if I were to like hardwire everything, doesn't mean there's not a break in one of those wires somewhere. So hardwiring every single wire in that connector might not even resolve the issue. It could just be a break in one wire, just a little bit somewhere. So I could maybe could swap out a transformer technically, and then I could rule out the transformer side of things. But yeah, I guess there's some food for thought. Anyway, I'm gonna, I don't know, just put it on the back burner for now. It's not an issue unless you start mashing that connector around. So it's not like urgent, but it is something it would be nice to resolve, but not looking like that's gonna happen tonight. So I'm throwing up the white flag for tonight, and we'll see if I make any progress next time. Otherwise, things are looking good. But yeah, there's that. Thanks for watching.